Get to welcome you, so welcome. And I'm hawking books. As you know, surprise, Centering Corporation, we say, is North America's oldest and largest bereavement resource center. Well, it's the only one we can say whatever we want. But I have 2 books, my first novels. I'm retiring now. And so I have the BOOB girls. And I thought, since laughter is so important to us, all I would do this morning is tell you my 2 favorite jokes, because when you write a book, you can put in your favorite jokes. And my favorite joke, who's your med center, Lisa, all of you who are working in a hospital setting, this is for you. In the book, Maggie Patton, there are 4 widows who take off from Omaha with no forwarding address. And Maggie Patton is a crusty, tough Sand Hills rancher who's retired and moved to Omaha. And she is with the other 3 BOOB girls. Robinson Leary is a black professor, all retired, from Creighton. There's Hadley Joy Morris. Whitfield, a socialite. Mary Rose McGill, a sweet Catholic girl who probably hangs out at the diocese a lot. And Maggie turns to the black professor, Robinson Leary, and says, I always wondered, do black men have black balls? And Robbie says, I don't know about all black men, but I do know about one elderly gentleman who was in the hospital in an oxygen mask, and a nurse came in, and he said, Nurse, please, check and see if my testicles are black. And she said, oh, sir, I'm not qualified to do that. He said, no, I've asked everybody. Nobody will give me an answer. Just take a minute and check and see if my testicles are black. And she said, but sir, I'm just a student nurse here to give you a sponge bath. He said, no, well then get someone who will, because no one will check. And she sees his blood pressure is going up. His heart rate is increasing. And she said, well, all right. And she puts the sheet back and she takes his manhood in one hand and his testicles in the other and says, no, sir, they look perfectly normal to me. Covers him back up. He takes off the oxygen mask, smiles at her and says, thank you, that was wonderful. Now listen very carefully. Are my test results back? Oh. It is early, I know. And in book 2 we meet Mrs. Goldberg, who makes the most wonderful cinnamon rolls. This is Lies, Spies, and Cinnamon Rolls. Most wonderful cinnamon rolls in the world. You are guaranteed to gain 5 pounds just by reading this book. Mrs. Goldberg is huge. You hear her before you see her. She, remember bobby pins? She puts her hair up in bobby pins and pin curls and pulls them out so she looks like a cartoon character. She wears an apron with the day of the week on it, but it's always the wrong day. And the only footwear anyone has seen her wear are crocheted slippers with pom-poms. But Mrs. Goldberg tells us the 4 great religious truths. And the 4 great religious truths, for those of you who are working in chaplaincy and in the diocese and in parish nurses, the 4 great religious truths are: Palestinians do not recognize Jewish rights to the Holy Land. Jews do not recognize Jesus as their Messiah. Protestants do not recognize the Pope as their religious leader. Baptists do not recognize each other at Hooters. So, blessings to you all for what you do and who you are, because with this group, the world is a better place